You have seen how the Israelis treat Palestinians in captivity. Just awful, awful stuff. Now I want to show you the opposite. These are the Yemenis. Okay. You remember when they captured Galaxy Leader, this giant ship? They took the crew hostage, so 25 of them, and they are still in captivity. And now they've just been visited by the Red Cross for the first time. Remember, Israel allow 0 Red Cross visits to any prisoners and hostages. So I'll just show you some of the videos here.
Red Cross messages, so news from their family, and we also asked them to bring their news to their family.
ولكنهم أخبروهم بأنهم يقوموا بالتواصل بشكل دوري مع أهاليهم عبر الفيديو، وأنهم ليسوا بحاجة إلى إرسال أي رسائل إلى أهاليهم باعتبارهم يتواصلون بشكل دائم. تمت المهمة بنجاح وزاروهم ووجدوا أنهم في حالة صحية جيدة، في حالة نفسية جيدة. يتمنوا.
You can see they're all wearing the Palestinian scarves. So this is the crew that you see on the screen right now.
أن يغادروا، والأمر المغادرة هو مرتبط بالتفاوض مع الأخوة في حماس كما أعلنت صنعاء ذلك سابقا.
So you see them, they're wearing Palestinian scarves, they're in good spirits, they're not being tortured, they are being treated well, humanely, they can speak to their families. Look, no one is saying it's a nice situation. I'm personally, I think they should have released them. I don't think it brings anything to have them in captivity. But nevertheless, we are comparing here. We're drawing a comparison, and there's, I mean, it's night and day difference, and yeah, here you can see when they were going up to the ship.
We are already 6 months here in the ship, and I like only to speak the word peace, freedom for the Palestinian, and stop the war and ceasefire.
Why we are here, to actually bring some good news, I hope. We have been managing to have some conversation with the crew here, and our main objective was to bring Red Cross messages, so news from their family, and we also asked them to bring their news to their family. So this was our main objective of the visit. We found the crew in good condition.
I'll show you some more photographs here. Here's the crew, and they're just lounging about and chilling. There are some more interviews that they did with them. I'll play them for you.
One who doesn't understand English, please make sure to translate. Good news, I hope, from your family. We have some messages, and you will be
if possible to stop, and possible also for ceasefire, so that we also be maybe possible we release, because we are staying here too much long time already. We already 6 months staying here, and as much as possible for releasing us, to reunite our family as soon as possible. Also, we would like to thank for the Yemen people for the warm welcome. Thank you for the hospitality, and they are good for us for sure. But we only have concern about our family. That's why, if possible, we can be released as soon as possible.
مصير الطاقم هو واضح بأنه مرتبط بالأخوة في حماس وفي القسام، ليتحدثوا مع دولهم باعتبار أنهم يعملون في سفينة إسرائيلية، فمصيرهم مرتبط أيضا بهذه السفينة إذا ما تم التواصل مع الأخوة في القسام واتفقوا بأن يفرج عليهم فنحن ليس لدينا مشكلة في أي وقت يذكر.
See that? Let me play that again for you, that last section.
إسرائيلية فمصيرهم مرتبط أيضا بهذه السفينة إذا ما تم التواصل مع الأخوة في القسام واتفقوا بأن يفرج عليهم فنحن.
So they've linked the fate of these captives, these hostages, to Gaza. You know, this is a form of pressure. It's a form of pressure to put on their respective governments, meaning the Filipino government, Bulgarian, the other nationalities that we saw. So, you know, it's again, it's not nice. It's not nice. So yeah, Ukraine, Mexico, Romania, Bulgaria, and Philippines. These are the respective. These are the respective governments of the hostages, and what Yemen are trying to do here is just apply pressure on those governments to apply, in turn, pressure on the Israelis. Right? That's how it works. So that's all they're trying to do here. And you remember when they first took them hostage, they said, "You are Yemenis. We'll get you anything you want. Anything you desire is yours." And, you know, I mean, they gave them the Arab hospitality, but obviously it's not a nice situation for the hostages. Now, again, my job here is to show you the news and also to contrast with what we just saw with CNN, for example, with how they treat captives. And, I mean, whether we're talking about Hamas or we're talking about the Houthis, they both treat their prisoners, their hostages, their captives, their detainees with respect. They actually care for their human rights. They really mean that. It's not something they say. They just do it. You know, there's a common decency at play here. It's not like, you know, we're going to put you in a dungeon like the Israelis are doing in the Negev desert, right? You can't compare the two. It's night and day difference. The situation is dire. There's really nothing left to do. And many Palestinians have been in prison for decades. Many of them, thousands of them, are there without charge or trial. If we look at the West Bank, you got over 8,000, almost 9,000 that have been arrested since October 7, you know. So yes, it's not nice for these 25. It's also not nice for the 8,000, you know. So whatever you want to, you know, accuse the resistance of, I mean, it's been done tenfold and with nothing but vindictiveness by the Israelis first. Right, so it's just a response. Hamas and the Houthis or the Ansar Allah, they didn't just go out of their way to take hostages. They were driven into this situation. They were driven to do this, and we already stated the reasons. Now I'll give you a short update about Yemen and these ships. So they've attacked new ships. Now one of them was MSC Diego in the Gulf of Aden, and then another one as well in the Gulf of Aden, MSC Gina, and they also carried out another operation in the Indian Ocean against MSC Victoria, and then again in the Arabian Sea. And they achieved direct hits on all of them with missiles, drones, and so ballistic missiles, drones, and other armaments. So again, that's MSC Diego, MSC Gina, and MSC Victoria in the Gulf of Aden, the Arabian Sea, and the Indian Ocean. So, I mean, we're talking about a wide net here. And keep in mind, this is not just, you know, the news anchors, they want to act like Yemen are just randomly firing at ships like they're a bunch of lunatics with RPGs. No, this is a caricature of what is happening. These people are not serious. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. They should go find another job. They're not fit to do news. And so what's going on is that Yemen are carefully choosing ships that actually have business ties to the Israeli occupation. This is not, you know, some random, like, let's pick a name out of a Rolodex. Okay, this Galaxy Leader, for example, right, the ship in question, I can tell you why they captured the crew and the ship itself. Okay, so the ship itself is registered in Panama. Okay, so it's a Panama flagged ship, and it's co-owned by Nippon Yusen, which is a Japanese shipping company, and there's also Ray Shipping. That's another company that has partial ownership by Israeli businessman Abraham Unger. Okay, so There is an Israeli businessman who owns a part of this ship, and that's why the Israelis, the Yemenis targeted it. It's not random. It's not blind luck. It's carefully chosen. And again, they are doing their utmost to make sure there are no casualties, right? They're not interested in sinking the ships. If they wanted to do that, they would do that. One ship sank by accident and 3 people died by accident. But we're talking about a 7-month blockade. I mean, the Americans arrived in the first minute. They killed 10 Yemeni Marines. They're lunatics. They're absolute lunatics. You know, you compare this with the siege imposed on Iran, on Cuba, on Syria, on Venezuela by the Americans. How many people have they killed? On purpose, for no reason except imperialism. So, you know, there are different ways of employing a siege. There are different reasons for doing it. I mean, obviously, we can't compare them here because this is a naval blockade, whereas the siege on Gaza is starvation of 2 million people. You see the difference here. The goal is just to deter. Yemen's goal is to deter. It's not to actually sink the ships or to cause problems and a loss of life and liberty. The goal is to make sure the route is closed, that you go around Africa instead of coming through here. And even then, they will block you from going around Africa in the Indian Ocean. So now you have to turn back around the other side of the globe, and that's going to cost you time and money, and you're screwed. That's the point. It's to incur losses on the Israeli occupation, financial losses. And man, I mean, this is the most effective naval blockade in modern history, without question. Without question. And it's the most humane. The prisoners, the hostages are treated humanely. There is no intention to injure or kill anyone. And the ships are not sunk. It's the most humane blockade I've ever seen in my life. I've never heard of such a thing. No one wants this. Once again, driven to this solution out of desperation. Desperation because of what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians. 75 years. 75 years of this. It's rather tame for a response to a 75-year persecution. It's very tame. You understand? Compare that to what the Israelis are doing to Gaza in the name of freeing the hostages, which they don't care about. Again, YouTube demonetized my channel because I'm not allowed to say naughty things about Israel. Telling the truth is forbidden. So if you are able to donate a few dollars on PayPal or on a monthly basis on Patreon, please consider doing it because it would really help me continue my journalism and support independent media. So I'd be very grateful. And the links are in the description and also in the chat. Thank you guys very much again for all your donations and all your kind comments. I appreciate it very much.